Hello, Rachel here with another live hangout with Cascadia Seller Solutions. And thank you so much for joining us. We are answering all of your questions, of course, and other questions that come in through our Facebook group. Our goal is to help brands struggling to sell profitably on Amazon and to have optimized marketing strategies, launching new products, and do all of this in compliance with Amazon terms of service or as close to Amazon terms of service as possible to get businesses to grow predictably and consistently. And also a reminder, I brought this up last week, our doors to optimize advertising grow are now open for our 16-week masterclass on Amazon account management, marketing, advertising, basically all of the things that you need to run your business. We'll be talking about reimbursements. We'll be talking about managing your in-stock using Amazon's free tools to do a lot of this so that we can keep costs down. And I wanted to let you guys know that you can still qualify for the early bird discount, and that is running out on the 21st of February at midnight Pacific time, and the class does start at the beginning of March. So make sure that you guys knew that. And you can see what it's all about at thinkcascadia.com/OAG. You can also feel free to ask any questions at all, and I'm happy to answer them. Okay, so onward to your questions. I have a question here about the unfulfillable items. And the unfulfillable reason is customer damage, defective, and total. And the question is, what does it mean when I see defective here? I always assume that these were returns that customers mark as defective because of free return shipping. And what does customer damage mean? Are these all returns? So basically what customer damage versus defective means is whether Amazon's giving you money for it. That's really the main thing there. Excuse me. If it's customer damaged, and that's Amazon's responsibility because they sent it out to the customer damaged it, and then you deserve to get money back from that, right? So if it's 7 units customer damaged, Amazon should be reimbursing you for 7 units, and then 7 defective units. That means that something was wrong with the product. Amazon verified something was wrong with the product, and you're held responsible for that. They're not reimbursing you for that. Okay, so that's all it means. They're all unfillable. You still need to either destroy or return them to you. It's just a question of what Amazon's going to pay you back for, because they're certainly not going to pay you back for something they consider to be your fault, that you caused it to be defective in some way. They're only going to pay for when customers are causing this problem. Okay. Kathy asks, is it okay to keyword stuff the image file name for the main product image and/or EBC? Not just okay, keyword stuff it. They give you, I don't remember how many characters, 60 characters, I think. For those, and just keyword stuff the heck out of it. That is absolutely a good idea there. If you have any questions about that, let me know. But otherwise, keyword stuff the heck out of it for that one. Because of the way that things are indexed, I would highly recommend using Google Keyword Planner because Google will index those images. Okay, follow-up question on the damaged items. There's 2 comments. Kathy says they mark grocery and pet as defective. And Tracy says my customer damage says return to inventory. Okay, so they're 2 different things. So you're supposed to have all grocery and pet, especially pet food, marked as unfulfillable when it's returned. That is part of the process. Now, whether or not they do it is a different issue, but they're supposed to mark all ingestibles of any kind defective upon return to Amazon. Now, I have seen them fail at doing that, so it's not as though it happens consistently, but that's supposed to be what happens. According to FDA regulations, if you lose control of the basically control of the chain of custody over the food, you're not supposed to then sell it. And so if it goes out to a customer and comes back, do you remember the thing with the Tylenol years ago, where the person was like injecting it with a needle and then making like contaminating the Tylenol, doing it that way. And so it still looked like it was perfectly safe because it was injected with a needle, not opened in any way. So whenever there's some sort of lack of clear chain of custody, they're not supposed to put it back into your sellable inventory, which gets me to the second question from Tracy, where it says my customer damage says return to inventory. All that means is that it's been returned to your control. Amazon didn't retain it and offer you a reimbursement. Okay, so return to inventory could mean return to active inventory where you can sell it, or return to unfulfillable inactive inventory. Return to inventory means either. I know that's super confusing and kind of stupid, but just to be aware of that. That the way that that works is that anytime it's returned to your custody, as opposed to them keeping it and sending it to warehouse deals or something like that, then it's going to say return to inventory. They don't actually tell you of this return went into your active sellable inventory. That I haven't been able to figure out a way to figure out, except for literally just looking and seeing that the active inventory went up by one. That's the only way that I've been able to see to do that. Their reports are definitely lacking in that area. And of course, there is no way currently to tell them, put everything that comes back into defective status. There's no way to make them do that. They still choose right now where things will go. And then Kathy pointed out that they won't reimburse for either reason code in those categories. Yeah, because everything has to be marked defective. So for that situation, it doesn't matter. The return itself, and Amazon has the same thing. Amazon has the same policy. Again, it isn't always consistent, just like the expiration date policy, that sometimes their system screws up. But the policy is any returns in ingestible goods are supposed to be immediately marked defective regardless. Like, it doesn't matter why. It doesn't matter if it was defective or if the customer damaged it. Just the fact that there is a return means that you're eating the cost. So try to minimize returns if at all possible. Okay, next question. I have a problem with an electrical appliance due to poor quality causing functionality issues and then leading to customer returns. Amazon closed the listing in late November. Okay, I removed the remaining inventory, shipped new units in with the same FNSKU in December. Problem solved, the listing was reinstated. Since the new units arrived, the product has had 2 returns, which are from the old inventory based on the order date. When I look at the return reports and comments, 2 customers said the device is not functioning. Despite the comments, Amazon has returned those units to inventory, and I have a feeling they will be sent to new customers again and cause more returns, negative reviews. Is there a way to prevent Amazon from returning those non-functioning units to inventory? Great follow-up question, although I don't think that was the point, because that came from a different group that we have. So no, there's no way to stop Amazon from doing that. They will absolutely put it back into inventory if it looks from the exterior like it's perfectly fine. So if it's clean, if it's packed in the box, if everything looks correct, they'll just put it right back to inventory, go out to the next customer. This is why I always suggest, if you can, I know that there's certain things with subscribe and save that for some reason Amazon decided to use SKU. There is a workaround for that, but it is a little bit more tricky. Always send in new inventory if you've had an issue with a new FNSKU. And Tracy, I know you had a problem with that and you commented in the group. I would like to do a screen share with you separately, because I want to make sure that I'm following, because it should be fairly simple to create a new seller SKU, and UPC shouldn't have anything to do with it. So I think that there's a step that's off there, and I just want to check that. So no, you can't change it. It is going to go back out in inventory. So you need to control that by having a different FNSKU when you ship in good inventory. Okay, next question. Can we put a paper in our FBA boxes that says if you have questions or concerns, please call our number? Yes, absolutely. The way that customer service rules work is you can put a customer service number in, so you can absolutely ask them to contact you for any customer service issues. And on the phone, you can give them other information, whatever you want to do, but just be careful of that in case anyone's being a troll. But in general, yes, any sort of customer service phone thing that's explicitly permitted. You can put the customer service phone number on responses to reviews even, so you can put that out there. The only thing that you can't do, although people do it all the time and still get away with it because they clearly label it as being for customer service, is put an email. So they don't like emails because if you see the domain, then you could go to the website, right? So from an insert talking about contact us, when you have a call to action, contact us, blah, 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 then phone number is explicitly permitted, and then we have a problem with the approach for the email being potentially seen as diverting. Whereas if you just put your email, your web address on the box, then that's considered okay, because that's actually something you can do per FTC regulations. You just can't have a call to action associated with it. Okay. All right. Next question. How long should it take for a title change request to be approved? We requested a change 2 weeks ago. I asked for updates twice. Just keep getting the "we are working on it" messages. Anything can I do? If you call them, you can sometimes get a better response. It depends on if you're waiting on it because of retail contributions. If you're waiting on a change because of retail contributions, it can take up to a month. That side of the house is very slow and they're kind of disorganized. And so that's just kind of problematic. I would still call and see if you can get people to go that way. But otherwise, you're kind of stuck waiting for retail. It depends on the issue, right? So if it's not a retail contribution issue, then you should be able to call and get them to change it themselves. Like, you should be able to get on the phone and make it happen. But if it's a retail contribution issue, seller support will not be able to make that change for you. And so you have to wait for vendor side to take care of it. Okay. All right. One more question this morning, and then I have to jump off early, but I will absolutely be on answering questions and happy to do a recording in the group. The question was, what is your opinion on attending Amazon-sponsored conferences like Boost by FBA or the Seller Partner Summit? I think it's great to be able to actually reach Amazon workers because you can bring long-standing issues to them and they'll find someone to respond to it. Otherwise, the content isn't super great. It's pretty boilerplate. It all has to be approved by legal ahead of time, so it's not like it's anything groundbreaking. But actually contacting Amazon people, that's pretty helpful. Okay, so I am sorry that I have to jump off early, but please include your questions and be in on the group. I will be doing some recordings, some short recordings for the other questions that came up that I didn't have a chance to get to. And thank you all so much for joining me. And again, I would love to see you in our masterclass in a couple weeks. All right, take care, everybody. Bye-bye.